They might have a lot to say, but ain't gon' never face you. You gotta learn and embrace it, don't let it break you.
This is the domestic situation where a dude was getting his hair cut. And a woman came in and shot him. And while he in the chair while he getting his hair cut. So that's how that's going.
This is the moment Arlington police officers arrived at the front doors of the Spa Galleria strip mall on shots fired, recorded on a cell phone. Just after 10 a.m. Friday, police say a 37-year-old woman walked into the South Cooper Street location with a gun and opened fire on a man she had been dating as he got a haircut.
I'm here to tell the story of Michelle and Ty to clear the false narratives. He did not give her HIV. He was not cheating on her at the time of the murder-suicide. In fact, they haven't even been together in over a year.
Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself. You've got real money in your account. You go away for a long weekend, you're out of town having a good time, you come back, and your balance says 0. Not low, not a dip, 0. Your mortgage hasn't been paid in over a year. Your business account is locked. Your phone got accessed while you were gone, and that $10,000 military settlement, the one thing that was supposed to be just yours, that's gone too. Now, the man who did all of that, he's on Instagram posting yachts, captioning it Miami Dump, buying jewelry, riding around in a wrapped truck with his face on it, building a whole brand off the knowledge, the contacts, and the foundation that you gave him. And the wild part? He could not have done any of it without you. He didn't even know how when you met him. That is the story of Taman Michelle Williams. Not the version where she's just the angry ex who walked into a salon. The real version, where a woman spent years building a man, building a business, building a life, while he systematically took every single piece of it away from her. She tried lawyers. She tried lawsuits. She tried restraining orders. She reached out to family for help and barely got any. She did everything you are supposed to do when someone financially destroys you. And none of it was enough to stop him. Some men mistake patience for permission. And that is a very expensive misread. On July 11th, 2025, at the Salon and Spa Galleria on South Cooper Street in Arlington, Texas, Taman Michelle Williams walked through the door at 10:15 in the morning. Todd Austin was in the chair. The cut never got finished.
This is the moment Arlington police officers arrived at the front doors of the Spa Galleria strip mall on shots fired, recorded on a cell phone. Just after 10 a.m. Friday, police say a 37-year-old woman walked into the South Cooper Street location with a gun and opened fire on a man she had been dating as he got a haircut.
Now, before we get into what happened, let me tell you who Taman Michelle Williams actually was. Because the version of this story that broke the internet spent a lot of time talking about him. And that alone should tell you something. Taman was 37 years old, living in Arlington, Texas. She had 2 children, one from a previous relationship, and one she shared with Todd. By every account from people who actually knew her, she was sharp, resourceful, and the kind of woman who builds things from nothing. Here is what the motivational speaker with the wraparound truck version of Todd Austin never put in a caption. When they met, he was living in downtown Dallas under a CPN, a credit profile number. For anyone unfamiliar, that is essentially a workaround people use when their actual credit is in the gutter. The man had no credit, no foundation, no business. He was a project. And Taman? She was the contractor. She taught him credit repair from scratch, dispute processes, client management, how to run a business. They built Credit Champs together. She was the knowledge. He became the face. And honestly, it is a story as old as capitalism itself. Woman builds the engine, man puts his name on the hood. then acts confused when she asks for her cut.
When she met Todd, Todd was living downtown Dallas under a CPN number. He did not know how to do credit repair. She taught him how to do that, and they built this business, Credit Champs, together.
For a while, it genuinely looked like something. They had a baby. They had a business. They had the kind of social media presence that makes strangers root for you. On paper, they were the couple your friends send to the group chat with goals underneath. But there is a specific kind of man who lets a woman build him from nothing, then spends years quietly convincing himself he did it alone. That man does not leave when the relationship ends. He leaves. And then he takes everything with him on the way out. So how does a woman go from building something together to walking into a salon with a weapon? Because the short version that went viral, she shot her baby daddy, leaves out about 90% of the actual story. When Todd and Taman ended things, he did not just leave. He left, turned around, and started quietly dismantling everything she had. Methodically, like someone who had been thinking about it for a while. They had a joint bank account. He removed her name from it. Not her access, her name. Then he created a new email address and rerouted every statement, every alert, every financial notification to that account. So, Taman's own mortgage payments, her own bills, her own business, all of it was flowing to an inbox she could not reach. He essentially became an invisible hand on everything she owned, and she had no way of seeing the damage until it was already done. By the time she found out, he had reversed approximately 18 months of her mortgage payments. 18 months. She was standing on the edge of losing her home. Not because she was irresponsible with her money, but because someone else got into it first.
Todd reversed all of Michelle's mortgage payments up to I think 18 months, probably more. To the point where she was about to lose her home. How he did this is because they have a joint bank account. He removed her off of the bank. I don't even know how he could have even did this, but he removed her name off the bank because she had no access.
And then there was the Vegas trip. Taman went out of town for a weekend. She came back to a bank account that had been emptied. We are talking somewhere between $250,000 and close to $500,000. Gone. Not slowly drained. Gone. And while she was away, he had also gotten into her phone and helped himself to her $10,000 military settlement. That one was supposed to be just hers. He took it anyway, because apparently, what's yours is mine was his whole operating system. Now some of you are doing the math and thinking, how do you not notice that kind of money disappearing? The answer is, when the person who stole it also controls every notification, every alert, and every access point, you don't notice until you are already buried under the rubble. She went to court. She filed multiple lawsuits. She had an active restraining order against him. According to Nikki Hunter, who had her own case against Todd, settled the day before the shooting. He had made terroristic threats against Taman and her son. Not vague threats, specific ones. He threatened to kill them both. Here is what makes it worse. While all of this was happening in her life, the debt, the court dates, the reversed mortgage, the threats, Todd was still running Credit Champs, still posting, still collecting clients, still playing successful entrepreneur for 95,000 Instagram followers, building his brand on the business she helped create, and not giving her a cent of access to any of it. Then he started driving his branded truck past her house, the wrapped Credit Champs vehicle, his face on the side of it, past her Ring camera, not once, repeatedly. There is no logistical reason to route your drive through your ex's street unless you are trying to make a point. And the point was, I have everything. You have nothing. And you cannot touch me. And the HIV allegation. That was also circulating heavily on social media by the time this story broke. Unconfirmed by police, but it was out there, and it was part of what people were saying when they tried to understand how a woman gets to this place. She reached out to family. She reached out to friends. Nikki Hunter was one of the few people in a position to help her, and even then, digging someone out of that level of debt. A mortgage, luxury cars, a whole lifestyle she could no longer carry alone. Is not something most people around you can do. She was asking for help and barely getting any. While the man who put her there was posting yachts on Instagram calling Miami a dump. Those photos went up the day before he died. One of his own followers commented, "I'm pretty sure this post was the trigger." Another replied, "Yes, gotta be." They were not wrong. But it was not one post that brought Timon to that salon. It was every single thing that came before it. July 11th, 2025. A Friday. 10:15 in the morning. Timon Michelle Williams walked into the Salon and Spa Galleria on South Cooper Street in Arlington, Texas. She knew exactly which suite he was in. She walked directly to suite 913, where a barber named Dax had Todd Austin sitting in his chair. She shot him multiple times. People inside the building describe what happened in the seconds after. Gunshots from one side of the building, workers locking themselves in whatever space they could find. One witness told WFAA he barricaded himself in a stall with a customer and spent the next few minutes doing the only thing he could think to do. When officers arrived, Timon was heading for the exit. She saw the police. She turned around. She went back inside the building and shot herself. Todd Austin was pronounced dead at the scene. Timon was rushed to a hospital nearby. She died from her injuries a short time later. Both 37 years old. Both gone.
I'm gonna see something I never thought I would see.
One child between them. Now without either parent, there was no dramatic final confrontation. No conversation. No last words that anybody heard. Just a Friday morning at a hair salon and two lives that ran out of road at exactly the same moment. Arlington PD confirmed it quickly. Murder-suicide, domestic dispute, no outside parties. The investigation closed fast because there was nothing to solve. Both people were dead, the footage was clear, and the motive, on paper, was simple enough to type on a form. Domestic dispute. Next case. What no official capacity documented was the years of financial abuse underneath that morning. No press release about the reversed mortgage. No investigation into the drained accounts. Just a case number.
Okay, I'm here to tell the story of Michelle and Todd to clear the false narratives. He did not give her HIV. He was not cheating on her at the time of the murder-suicide. In fact, they haven't even been together in over a year. Yeah, Michelle came from nothing. She built herself up as a veteran, as a successful business owner. Her knowledge, the things that she knew in order to get money to take care of her kids as a single mother. When she met Todd, Todd was living downtown Dallas under a CPN number. He did not know how to do credit repair. She taught him how to do that, and they built this business, Credit Champs, together. Whenever they broke up, because I see he's been sending his clients the video when she pulled the gun on him. She wanted him out of her house and he would not leave. There's an active restraining order right now against him. Terroristic threat against her and her son. He threatened to kill them both. Okay? Todd reversed all of Michelle's mortgage payments up to I think 18 months, probably more, to the point where she was about to lose her home. How he did this is because they have a joint bank account. He removed her off of the bank. I don't even know how he could have even did this, but he removed her name off the bank because she had no access. He created a new email for everything to go to, not the email that they had. Michelle went to Vegas one weekend, and she came back, and all her money was gone. Now, could you imagine having $250,000 or even $500,000 in your bank account, and now it's zero? You can't pay your mortgage, you can't take care of your kids, he's threatening you, he's not giving you nothing for your kid, okay? Michelle had several cases against this man, okay? Me, as well, had a lawsuit that I just won and got paid off a day before the murder-suicide. Michelle was suing him for a lot. He was taunting her by still promoting this company, still making money off this company that they built, not giving her access to any of the money. He also wrapped a Cyber truck, was riding past her house. She could see it on her Ring camera. He was taunting her. She was so full of debt. She was about to lose her home. The air went out in her Tesla. It was just a lot of stuff going on, and she had $0 to deal with her situation. She reached out to family. She reached out to people to help her, and only a handful of us helped her, okay? So with all this stuff that y'all got going on about he gave her HIV or she was cheating and it's more dick out there, it had nothing to do with that. That man stole her whole life, and he flaunted it in her face. Todd also took her $10,000 settlement payment that she got from the military. When he got access to her phone, he drained her personal account, locked her out of her business accounts, wouldn't help her with her son. So all of this stuff, I just want to clear the false narrative. He is not who you think he was. And I'm not justifying anything that she done, but I understand. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, because I really don't care, honestly.
The person who filled in those blanks publicly was Nikki Hunter. She came forward with a video laying out what she knew. The financial destruction, the terroristic threats, the lawsuits, the paper trail she had standing. She won her own case against Todd and collected her settlement the day before he died. She was a witness with receipts. Todd's family pushed back. His brother went public, disputing the picture Nikki painted of him. Both videos are still out there. So are the court filings Tamun filed herself. Documents do not have a side. Tamun did what women are told to do. She got the restraining order. She filed the lawsuits. She used the system. And the system did what it often does. It moved at its own pace, filed the paperwork, and left her alone inside the problem. Financial abuse does not leave marks anyone can photograph. It shows up in a bank statement, a locked account, a mortgage silently unpaid for 18 months. It stays invisible until the day it is not. She was not just the woman who walked into that salon. She was the woman who built the man who was sitting in that chair. Remember her whole story, not just the last chapter. Rest easy, Tamun.